Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green, manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. Today, taking on Northampton. I think it's Northampton? I don't know. All of these are made-up place names, let's face it. There's a handsome bunch of lads, our new enemies of Northampton. And there's Mr. Managerinho. As you can see, I've aged a little bit just in the last few weeks because I found it so difficult to drop down into second place despite our superior goal differential over Charlton. As you can see, the franchise currently playing with trade in Milton Keynes is in fourth place, which is a source of some anxiety as well. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Oh yeah, they're delicious. RX bars, sponsors of Dear Hank and John, and also genuinely loved here in the office. It just sounds delicious. I can hear it back there. So today's topic comes from Project for Awesome donor. The problem I'm going to solve comes from Project for Awesome donor Dostoevsky, which is Dostoevsky's real name, apparently. Actual legal first name, it says here. And I'm just going to read the problem, and then I'm going to solve it, because that's what this series is all about. Lots of shots of Mr. Managerinho today. I've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and while others can brush off uncertainty, I'm forced to feel it everywhere I go, even though my mental illness is relatively well managed. I don't feel like I belong in normal humanity, but I also don't feel like I'm broken or lesser simply because my relationship to reality and rationality is different from theirs. I've made peace with who I am, but I'm struggling over what I should consider myself. Human, something different but just as valuable, or a broken version of a human. Any ideas? So, I mean, the first thing that I need to say is that even though I am here to solve your problems, and I solve all problems no matter what, no matter how big or how small I am in the problem-solving business, is that I am not a psychologist. And so I am not an expert in your mental health or your medical situation. And I trust, it sounds like you have those people in your life, which I think is really, really important. And I know that those people are key to my life and my ability to as you put it, manage my my mental illness relatively well. That was offside, and I want to apologize because I knew it was going to be offside, but I couldn't resist the urge to make the pass. By the way, I have a new formation that I'm trying out. It's like 4-1-3-1-6-2-4. So the nice thing is that we have 17 players on the pitch. It's going to be great. You're going to like it. I think I have a different, vastly different experience from you, and I want to be conscious of that. But I'm familiar with the feeling like, am I a broken version of a person am I a broken version of a person because I don't have all of the same abilities or capacities of my peers, and because when I look around, I see a lot of people who can do a lot of things that I can't do, and because I often don't feel in control of my thoughts, and that is destabilizing to one's sense of self, right? If you don't control your thoughts, or you feel like you can't choose your thoughts, but you're told that the thoughts are quote unquote yours, what does that mean for what you are, or what the definition of you is? And that's something that that's kind of what I wrote my book Turtles All the Way Down about, is I was trying to think about how am I going to, or how can you claim full and complete personness even if you're different. Oh, we finally scored a goal. We have finally scored a goal. It's the new system. It's brilliant. It's Vinny Thrill, the Dutch wonderkind, the small end from Holland, I don't know. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm still working on my songs and stuff, but Vinny Thrill, look at that. It's a fantastic finish. I mean, we scored a goal. Mr. Managerinho is delighted to have scored a goal. It's the new system. I love it. 4-1-3-1-6-4-2. It's brilliant. So I don't think, so to me, the answer to the question I'm struggling over with what I should consider myself, human or something different but just as valuable, or a broken human, is that humanness is a huge range and a huge spectrum. But all human, I really believe that all human lives are tremendously valuable and equally valuable. And I think we almost never live practically as if we believe that to be true. And, inevitably, even though I do genuinely believe that all human lives are equally valuable, I still, find myself privileging my children over other people's children. And so I know that I don't live that value either. But I really do believe that all human lives are equally valuable, and that everyone is as human as everyone else, and that you regardless of how you understand yourself or interact with the world, regardless of what abilities or disabilities you have, I think you're a person, and you're as much a person as any other person. And in some ways, part of what makes personhood so confusing and complicated, and this was another thing I wanted to write about in Turtles All the Way Down. Oh, cripes! We've given up a goal and it's 1-1. And it's frustrating, too. It was a poor defensive effort from Cuesta. And are you celebrate? You know what, guys? Act like you've been there before, Northampton. Jeez. You just tied it up 1-1 in the 28th minute. It's not like you just won the FA Cup. God. It's a good, nice-looking... Oof, boy, Rafa struggled there. I mean, I'm trying to punish George Long for his statement of dissatisfaction with the team, but the truth is that we need him. There's no getting around it. We benefit from George Long's presence, and Rafa is going to be a great goalkeeper someday, but right now he's a 15-year-old child, and that's that. So part of what I think makes personhood so confusing to me, or so complicated, is that personhood is something that we claim for ourselves, but it's also something that we confer upon each other. And when humans don't confer personhood upon other people, which has happened a lot, of course, in human history, you see it in the form of slavery. You see it in the form of the way that people with serious mental illnesses have been treated by the social order in the past, and to some extent are still treated by the social order today. You see it with the way that we it used to institutionalize people for their entire lifetimes, and there are so many examples of this, right? Like and it's an ongoing problem. I mean, I think it's an ongoing problem that you see today, and the way that we treat and talk about mass incarceration, the way that we talk about people who lots of different populations of people. And so while it's all fine and good to say that you are a person, and your personhood is valued and valuable, which I really believe. It's Vinny Thrill again. He's going for two. Oh, it's off the crossbar. How many times are we going to hit the post this season? It's ridiculous. We've hit the post more times than we've scored. His problem with Vinny Thrill, his shot has so much power. It's almost impossible not to hold down the B button too long. He's that good. He's gonna be that good, guys. 3 seasons from now, you're gonna believe me about Vinny Thrill. So, I think personhood is really complicated, and I don't have a. So I think we do have to. It's hard because yes, it is something that I want for everyone to be able to claim, but it's also something that we kind of collectively depend upon each other to give one another. And when that breaks down or when that fails, it can be, a huge societal problem. And speaking of huge societal problems, we're about to go 2-1. How did the goalkeeper make the save? I guess that wouldn't have been a huge societal problem to... it's a bad example of speaking of. I'm trying to make speaking of more of a thing, and obviously it's not working. So... That's what I would say in terms of, that's what I believe in terms of categorizing oneself, with the acknowledgement that even the phrase oneself is problematic in its way, since we don't totally have sovereignty over ourselves in the way that, that apostrophe would indicate. As far as feeling separated from humanity, I also think I think that's also human in its way, and really difficult, and something that I don't think I'm going to solve in a YouTube video, even though I claim to be able to solve all problems for all people all the time. We are all simultaneously, to greater or lesser degrees, separated and part of humanity. Like we're all, I think there are places where we all feel separated from it, but I also think that's a matter of degrees, and it's much different for people who live with serious illnesses, or for people who have serious disabilities, or for other reasons are are separated from the large swaths of the social order. I think finding a definition of, oh, get there, just too late. All right, we got to make some substitutions. This is ridiculous. We can't not win another match. First off, this formation has been great, but we're abandoning it. We're turning into a 4-1-6-4-2 4-4-2 flat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I know what you guys are saying, but John, it is broke. Shh, everything's going to be fine. So my own feeling, and I'd be interested to see if people in comments have other feelings about this, but my own feeling is that it's okay to feel, or it's inevitable to feel, a certain amount of separation from the broader, the broader humanity. There's so many people in a recent video that I recently made a video about this tree that fascinates me called the broccoli tree. And lots of the comments in it are like, I hate people, or I hate humanity. And I find that so interesting because, of course, like, you can't really say that because humanity is large and it contains multitudes. And you can't really say that you hate humanity because that's not only inclusive of you, it's also inclusive of all of the people who have done great, wonderful, kind things to you and to others and to trees. And oh God, we're going down 2-1. No, we didn't. It's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Poole missed. Raffo scared him. And now we have an opportunity to still win the game. So I don't think I guess what I would say, Dostoevsky, is that I don't think you're alone at all in, obviously your circumstances are particular, but I don't think you're alone at all in feeling somewhat separated from humanity. And I don't think that's uncommon. And I think the challenge for you and for all of us is to find ways to integrate. How is that still offside? Ridiculous. Find ways to integrate ourselves and our understanding of self and our understanding of people and the diversity of human experience in a way that is inclusive and also acknowledges that humanity is a complicated idea, and it is big and broad, and we've got to score, and I've been tackled from behind. It's got to be a penalty. Oh my goodness gracious. John Green still not up off the ground. Tackled. If he hadn't been tackled, I obviously would have scored because I would have walked the ball into the net. And how is that not a penalty? Ridiculousness from today's referee. An embarrassing performance. And is it going to keep us from winning the game? It appears possible that it might. It's John Green. It's John Green. It's John Green. Okay, and he's gonna. Oh, it's a great move, and then he just makes the wrong pass. He tries to pass back to him. It doesn't happen, and it's over. The move is over, and it's now in the 90th minute. Pass to John Green. Oh God, you gotta get that ball to your husband. Are we seriously gonna not win another game? We are. Devastating. It's not devastating. I'm exaggerating. So, I hope that those thoughts have been helpful, and that I have met the technical definition of solving your problem, although I fear that I haven't. And I'm sorry to everyone who's watching this for that complete failure to score. Great game from Vinny Thrill. Promising. Full of hope, but not yet full of delivery. So we're going to work on that. What's going on at the back of his head? Anyway, thanks for watching. Best wishes.